What's up, everybody? Welcome back. It's your boy D. This is D's Daily DD. Hope everybody's having a fantastic Friday because we are in a good spot, in my opinion, as far as AMC and Ape stock. Okay, I'm always gonna start off by saying I'm not a financial advisor. This is never financial advice. Don't take it as that. Take it for educational and entertainment purposes only, right? But I gotta say that these short sellers that are shorting AMC, they're something special, huh? Like, are they absolutely fucking retarded or what? We're gonna go over some data today, and I'm gonna explain to you why I just made that statement. Are they trying to be, take our title, the retarded apes, as they used to say? But that, in my opinion, has changed. I really don't think the apes are retarded anymore. Over these past 2 years or so, that we've been learning and educating ourselves and learning right how the market works. And in my opinion, allegedly, all the criminal activity that goes on, all the false data, all the manipulation, right, all that craziness. So today I want to get into some numbers, especially with AMC and what I see happening here soon. Okay, but yeah, just the numbers are insane. The data looks absolutely ridiculous right now. So we could definitely see something pop off really soon. Okay, and I'm gonna back that up with some information, some screenshots that I got. They're trying to be sly about it too. All right, so just by looking at the volume right now, 52 million for the day on AMC and 61 million for Ape. So we're creeping up over the 100 million mark. And the reason I'm saying that is because remember, you have to add AMC and Ape together to get the true price and to get, all the data. So remember the days before the squeezes on the past two run-ups, the volume actually dropped before, and then you saw a major increase in the volume, and that's what helped us blow past those resistance levels back then. So history tends to repeat itself. Nothing is guaranteed, guys, but right now, in my opinion, we are this close. Like, we're on the verge of squeezing right now. I wouldn't even be surprised, right, if we started squeezing right now after hours. All right, the market is closed, but man, I gotta say it again. These guys are fucking retarded. I'll show you why, okay? So let's switch over. Alrighty, fam. I got you with the information, the data. First off, let's pull up this information here. So, people, I've made comments before on how Redbox used to be over 1,000% max is what I remember. I remember it hit 1,300%. I don't have the picture, but just to show you that, I have some proof, some receipts. This was Redbox back in the day, and it was on the threshold list as well. And guess what? AMC is on the threshold list yet again, which, like, again, I'm asking, like, how has that American not reacted? How is he not saying, let me call share intel, let me get an investigation going, because right now would be the time to drop that hammer, okay? Because everything is lined up and we're on the threshold list. AMC's on the threshold list, right? The cost to borrow hit over 1,000% today, and we're going to talk about that too right now. So remember, when a company gets on the threshold list, this is what it states, right? So the regulation clearly states that fails must be closed out after 13 days, and even options market makers may not fail in issues with enough FTDs to be on the threshold list. Regulation show also has clear reporting and order marking requirements. All right, so I always keep that picture around just to show you guys that. But before we jump into all that, let's look over something right here. The SPY, okay? So the SPY has been on this uptrend. I see it going up in this channel. And as I called it, right, I did pretty good because of this green super trend. And we broke this resistance, and I was saying that today most likely was going to be a sideways day, if you check my last videos. But it still closed with a green candle, right? So I could see it just hugging this for now, and next week it can continue its run up. The real true resistance is going to be around 427 in my opinion, just looking at past rejections here. So when it broke there, went down, right, came back up, it tested it, came down. Now that it broke through this macro resistance, you can see that it could most likely, right, continue this uptrend because it has momentum and strength. But the RSI does need to, cool off a little bit before I think it can take off on the next upswing. But next, this is my AMC chart, guys, that I've had drawn out. So I've had this little box here because I got this right where it got rejected. But now the difference is that we broke the wedge yesterday, right? Supposedly. And then we're right on the line right now from my drawings. Okay, but this little flag is here, just like in the past other run-ups, like back here, you know. This was in December, and it was on the threshold list around this time as well, AMC. And we see the flag, and then we get the break, and then it just takes off, right? This time it was a little bit different in May, June, around this time, because it had actually broke the wedge, and then it came back down on this resistance, and then it took off after that. Okay, so right now it's just pretty weird how it's, you know, kind of a combination of both, I would say, personally, in my opinion. But I've had this target here because if we can get past this resistance, this 750 to 770 range, I think we can really see some big moves. And what I always like to say, it's what's a technical breakout usually leads to high volume, high momentum, high price changes. Okay, so that's what I have drawn out because I know what you guys want to see. I know what I want to see as well, right? So we all want to see this happen, right? A squeeze, a run, some sort of move. But when you take your Fibonacci extension tool, it has already worked 2 for 2. If you would have drawn it out in the first run, you could have pretty much called the top. Okay, if you would have used it in the next run, you could have pretty much called the top. So right now, that's, you know, what I'm using right now, just to give me an idea if this does happen next week or the week after, of what to kind of expect. And I know that if I don't see it go past this level, that you know, that the run will most likely be over, and it's just going to consolidate and repeat the pattern over again. You know, if you follow Ant's trades, you know, he's a new YouTuber on AMC, but he's been on point, so gotta give him credit. But he's saying, right, that most likely it's going to replay itself again, the whole cycle, the whole theory, right? The whole, just the cycle of the 3-year cycle that he's talking about. You know, and that's this guy. I'll show you his channel here. He's been on point. That's why, you know, he's got, his subscribers blew up, his videos, he's getting a lot of views, because he's using the old copy paste, you know, pattern. He's moving it over and it's following it pretty damn close. If you haven't seen any of his videos, they're good watches. Now today, the only problem is that it looks like we got a gravestone doji candle, right? So that would be looking like this. And when you look back here, to me, this is the daily chart. This is, to me, a gravestone doji, because it got rejected. Okay, we were on the verge of breakout and it got rejected. Now, remember, there's supposedly no shares left. We ended up on the threshold list. So that means that shares have not settled for 5 days, consecutive days. And I don't know how long it will stay on the threshold list, but I will give you more data on that. But the problem, right? I mean, I see what he's saying. Ants Trades, he's saying that we could open by Monday morning, Tuesday morning at $140, $130 a share. I would love that. I want to see that, of course. That's what I would want to see. But right now, you know, unfortunately, we did get a bearish candle on today's print. Now, it doesn't mean that it, you know, Monday, Tuesday, it could start ripping, or after hours or pre-market. You know, you never know. That is also a possibility. But we need to break this macro trend line, because if we do not, then it's just going to start coming back down, right? So again, let me show you the fucking retarded data. Just, I don't know what else to say. It's just, it's so stupid. The numbers, right? So at 22.59% short interest, the cost to borrow fee, 0 shares available to short. And so right here, right, like what I always pay attention to is it says, you know, 50,000, 35,000 shares or whatever. Cost to borrow max 412% today. But if you go down, you know, how are they shorting this much volume every single day? If we ended up on the threshold list, then what is going on here? Because there's obviously some issues going on. FINRA short volume 11 million, 6 million, 11 million, 10 million. That doesn't make any sense if there's, you know, only thousands of shares to cover or to short. You know, how are they shorting millions of shares? Okay. Again, it might have to do with naked short selling. All right. And in my opinion, that's what it is. Okay. So right now would be the perfect time to launch an investigation, to look over what's really going on behind the scenes, because even in the options chain, this week, it did okay. It didn't clear the 7. I would have wanted to see this $7 mark here cleared, because there was a lot of options open interest around that level. And then once we get past, so you can see here at the $5 level, that's what's good, right? That's on the good side. Like the puts landed out of the money, which was only these few puts landed in the money compared to all the open interest. So that's a good sign to me. Here we go. You got the cost to borrow in chart form, and you're seeing this thing just absolutely exploded right now to 400%, according to this website. But when we look at Ortex today, it was at 1,000 max, right? 1,000% max to borrow, which is just stupid. I mean, it doesn't make any sense to me on the threshold list. But look, guys, any single time we've seen a stock go on the threshold list with high cost to borrow, it rips shortly after, right? It could be a couple days, a couple weeks at most, but on average, right? Even with Redbox, when you saw that crazy high cost to borrow fee, it wasn't long after when you saw it rip and it squeezed. So that's the good news. Market Watch saying that their back retail participation in the stock market just surpassed the GameStop days. But the truth is, right, according to Ryan MC, we never left. I agree. We have been holding. I never left. I've just been learning and obtaining information, and I feel like I'm very knowledgeable now in the markets and how it works and so on. But I'm not a financial advisor. You always have to do your own research, your own DD. I'm just giving you my thoughts and opinions, right? But this is absolutely insane. Shorties right now, 1,000% cost of borrow max, and that's what I got for that. But let's move on. What is the threshold list? Threshold list is a list of securities whose transactions failed to settle for 5 consecutive days. Threshold lists are published by various exchanges. Settlement failures may be indicative of improper naked short selling. Okay, so in my opinion, that's what it is. Again, because we've been through this before, guys. Oh, shoot. I didn't mean to unhighlight that. But remember in November 2020, it got on the threshold list a couple times, and it lasted all the way until the 28th. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 days, consecutive trading days that it was on the threshold list. And remember, a couple weeks later, the stock squeezed. So I'm looking at that. That's important to me. And then the last thing is on today, I already checked the past days. It was not on there. But as of 2/2/23, AMC is on the threshold list. All right. So we have to just be patient right now, guys. But it is exciting. I think there is major potential here with what's going on with the numbers. But just being, optimistic, cautiously optimistic, because nothing's guaranteed. I hope Ants Trades is right. I hope we squeeze and make some money so people can finally, relieve the stress that comes with this, all that we've been holding on to the past 2 years and dealing with. And, in my opinion, we're right there, because I'm gonna say it again, the shorts are fucking retarded right now. I have receipts to back it up, right? But that's all my opinion, guys. Do what you gotta do. I hope you have a good weekend. Relax, be patient. Do something to unwind and relax. And hope to see you in the next video, guys. Thanks for coming by. See you next time. Have a great weekend.